We take you inside a high-security Army facility surrounded by controversy.
The Radford Army Ammunition Plant, owned by the British contractor BAE Systems, is a one-of-a-kind manufacturer, and it is key to the defense of our country. And while the plant provides the United States military with propellants and other weapons components, concerns continue to rise about how the production of those materials is affecting our health here in Southwest Virginia.
In a special report, WSLS 10's Rachel Lucas investigates those claims and gets unprecedented access to the facility.
For 75 years, what goes on behind the guarded gates of the Radford Army Ammunition Plant has been shrouded by secrecy. It supplies what they call America's warfighters with propellants, energetics, and munitions. Locally, it means jobs. The plant is the second largest employer in the county, the 9th in the New River Valley. Because of the nature of its work, it's protected by the highest levels of national security. But in a moment, we'll take you inside the plant to show you never-before-seen video of the operation. To this day, no one goes in or out without first being searched by armed guards. Not knowing what happens inside has only led to speculation about what can be seen coming out.
Stop the open burn!
It's these recent pictures shared by environmental activist Aaron Brockovich that have people asking questions. A green plume can be seen hovering over an open burn site on the ammunition plant. Many are concerned about what's in the air.
It's what comes out of the Radford Arsenal that's making people sick here.
All activity here is monitored and permitted, not only by the Department of Defense, but the EPA and the Department of Environmental Quality. According to the EPA, the plant ranks as the #1 polluter in the Commonwealth for the past 13 years. Each year, it puts out more than 9.2 million pounds of pollution. That's more pollution than the next 4 highest polluters combined. More than 8 million pounds of that is dumped into the New River. Almost 800,000 is released into the air, and it's all legal. In fact, we found out that the government granted the Radford Army Ammunition Plant 17 permits that they wouldn't normally offer a private corporation. The plant's disposal of hazardous waste is compliant with those permits.
I'd always been outside, so I smelled and heard a lot of things.
Gregory Nelson grew up next to the plant. He took the photos that started the firestorm. He wants more testing, especially around nearby Bellevue Elementary School. Local environmentalists are most concerned with the open burning.
Stop that burn!
It's an issue that's personal to Devon Bledsoe. In 2007, she was diagnosed with thyroid disease.
I'm concerned and I'm disgusted that the U.S. Army is allowing this to happen.
She isn't alone.
It's pretty scary. We're pretty concerned. From our house, we can see the smoke in the sky above the arsenal. So we're just concerned. You don't know what it's doing to us.
Erin Card lives with her husband and 3 children less than 2 miles away.
I've had friends who have been diagnosed with cancer. My husband has been diagnosed with cancer recently.
But it was when her baby was diagnosed with an unusual condition she began looking for answers.
My 4-year-old has recently, within the last year, had a cyst on his neck that was very close to his thyroid.
Data collected by the CDC and the National Cancer Institute shows that the 3 counties surrounding the plant, Giles, Floyd, and Pulaski, have among the highest rates of thyroid cancer in the state. Between 10 and 18 people are diagnosed each year. But there's no scientific proof to link those statistics to the plant or any other cause. And when we brought these concerns to the Radford Arsenal, they were very forthcoming with us. In fact, they have suited us up in safety gear, and we're getting ready to tour the property with the commander. She says normally access is restricted to the public, but they want to be open and answer those concerns.
I think there's value in being open and being genuine.
Those questions land on Lieutenant Commander Alicia Masson's desk. Masson has spent the last year trying to resolve the public's fears.
You're never going to get an email that says, I'm not writing back, don't send this to me. That's never going to happen.
She responds to an average of 200 emails every month.
We're going to owe you some feedback at the next one on some of these things.
She escorted us through some of the most secure levels of the facility. Video was prohibited in some areas, but photographs were allowed. She shows me a number of planned upgrades to become more eco-friendly.
It needs modernization.
Bioengineer Rob Davey is the Chief of Operations for the Army.
We've been going through a long process of getting money to get this in place. We've gotten terrific support from the Army and from our operating contractor.
Here inside the property at the ammunition plant, we can start to see some of those environmental efforts that the commander was talking about. She says one of the biggest problems was the coal-fired plant. This spring, they just broke ground on a new natural gas energy center.
We treat all the water that goes back into the New River.
Davey says 98% of the acids used here are recycled. All water used by the plant goes through a rigorous filtration process before being returned to the New River.
Is the water here safe?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it's safe.
A report from the DEQ says the same. And as to residents' concerns about open burning, the current incinerator can't safely burn all the waste produced by the plant, but a new one designed specifically for the arsenal will reduce the amount of open burning.
I want it to handle up to 100%. I can't say that it's going to because I don't know what the future of munitions look like. So I don't know 5 years from now if there's going to be something else we make that, maybe is different than that technology, but we are going to get as close as we can.
In the meantime, more testing is on the way. Starting in September, drones will be used to test the air over the open burns, while Masson reminds us that the plant's product is critical to national security.
We do provide something to national security that we have to keep providing.
Although they sit on opposing sides of the room, Masson is finding common ground with environmentalists, as well as looking for new ways to make products that protect our country and our environment. In Radford, I'm Rachel Lucas, WSLS 10.